Alright,
So start us off, bud.
start us off.
Yeah.
I don't know, like general observations from the first part.
Yeah, like give me some toppers.
Well, I mean, he turned into a bug. That was kind of surprising. It didn't really say like how he turned into one. He just kind of like woke up.
Is it like a magic thing or like?
I don't know.
Karma?
Or is it like a dream? Or is it like really
It did say dreams in the first line. So yeah. So my friend George woke up as a bug, and not just any bug, but a huge bug.
It was Gregor.
George, Gregor, same. But you know how they said it was an enormous insect, so he's not like a normal.
So it's like a
sized
human-sized bug.
Well, I wouldn't say human-sized.
Well, I mean,
he's bigger than normal.
Yeah, he's even bigger than like.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's bigger than a
so.
human because they
I don't
said
think
that
he's
his
bigger than
blanket
a
hardly
human.
covered him.
Later on, his dad kicks him, so he's bigger than a human.
Well, I think he was like
but
running into like
you
a
couldn't
human
kick a
size.
human.
You could kick a wall.
I mean, you could, but it wouldn't move.
Yeah, but you could still kick it. I
But
could
his
kick
dad, like-
Charlie and he might
I
fall
mean,
over. I don't
if he's
know,
a
probably
big
not.
bug, why couldn't he overpower his assumingly older father? That's just magic.
Yeah, but his blanket
Maybe his
still hardly
father's
covered
older.
him.
Maybe he had a small blanket.
No, maybe he didn't.
So he also noticed that his back had like a shell of sorts.
I pictured him as like a cockroach.
Yeah. Or like a ladybug.
No, well, I mean, I don't know what you.
No.
I pictured him as a ladybug.
I kind of found it just like a big like wasp almost.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I
Oh,
was
no,
going
not
beetle.
ladybug, a
I was
beetle.
going
Yeah,
beetle.
beetle.
Yeah, like a
Yeah, I
beetle.
don't think
Ladybug.
wasp or ladybug.
I misspoke, friend.
He just had a round back and he couldn't get
Yeah.
off the bat.
I thought it was silly
and
how
then-
he was only worried about going to work.
Yeah, he's a salesman, so obviously it seemed as if he took his work very seriously, even though he wasn't good at it. But he took his work seriously.
Well, he took it seriously because his parents are in debt.
His
Yeah,
parents
I
are
think
dead.
he was like the breadwinner.
So he's like a
Family.
true person.
Trying to help his family out.
Yeah, trying to help out his family.
He's a good guy.
He's a nice
Yeah.
person, very nice, but he's a bug now, so he's not a person anymore.
Sorry. I think in the beginning, he didn't have his priorities straight.
That's what I was thinking too. And towards the end of part one, he still didn't have his priorities straight because he was like, yo,
There wasn't much
I'm
of
not
like a
gonna be
character
able to
change throughout part one.
get my clothes, get my check. It's like, dude, come on, what are you doing?
Maybe you should take a sick day if you're a bug.
Yeah, I feel like he deserved a few, like, I don't know. Why didn't he just, like, wonder, like, where am I, like the doctor? Go to get, like, some help. Hey, don't worry about your bug problems. Go get some, like, mental things,
In the beginning, did he like choose to go back to sleep? Like, did he think he was dreaming at all?
Probably, that's what I
Yeah, he
would
thought like his hard like work schedule. I think was making
some sleep
Well, his
deprivation.
mother had awoke him to catch his train to work.
Yeah.
So obviously his mom still tells him when to get up. So obviously the guy's not too
How old do you think he is?
He's at least
I imagine-
30.
Really?
I think
He
he's
lives
old.
with his
I picture him
parents
old.
and his sister.
I think it's probably early 20s.
I picture him being.
But
I
like,
imagine
they depend
20s.
on him.
Yeah, he's got like a job. If he was in 20s, I don't think he'd be as established as a salesman.
You could be a salesman as
Oh,
in
no
your
doubt
20s.
you can, but I'm assuming that he's not.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what
His voice changed too.
I mean, he's bugged.
As
So he's
being
obviously
bugged.
past.
Well, he's obviously
He's
a
hit
human-like
puberty.
bug, but no, because he
His
could
voice
talk.
changed.
Like, obviously they understood what he was saying.
He's like in bug
Didn't they?
puberty though. It's like
No, they couldn't like understand.
He was all like.
They didn't understand him at all.
Yeah. Plus, he was like behind the door too, and just like muffled it.
Yeah.
So maybe his mouth didn't.
His mouth turned into a buggy mouth.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because like when he was
So-
trying to get out of the.
Why is he
His
paying
room.
off his parents' debt? That's what.
He
Maybe
probably
they
feels
just
bad.
Why?
just a less fortunate family. Or
Why
something.
is he paying off it? Why don't they pay off their own debt? Like, what does he owe them? Is it debt that he incurred? That he's
Maybe
calling for?
it's like his way of paying rent and living with his family.
Is he? It's his parents' debt, though. Obviously, he can live on his own. He has a job and he's paying for their debt. They don't have any money.
But maybe his family's just in poverty anyways, and they need more money to like eat food
Well,
and
his parents don't.
That's probably
buy
the case.
clothes. Yeah. He probably feels bad that his family is less fortunate. So he's like,
Yeah, and also in the book it said like he didn't have a lot of friends, so he like worked a lot. So maybe he's like the only one that can really takes work seriously
yeah.
in the family.
Yeah, maybe his sisters aren't old enough to.
He has one sister or two?
Two? One?
I think
That was
one, and I think it's like
One.
Gret or Gretty or whatever.
Whatever her face.
So
Maybe
this
she's two.
deputy, this guy, his employer's like henchman or whatever.
His boss.
It's not his actual boss. It was like someone.
Deputy director.
Yeah, no, but like it's his boss.
Okay, like his. All right. Yeah. So he's not. Is he the main boss?
I mean,
I
he's
thought he
probably
was
not
just-
the highest
yeah,
guy. He's
I was
probably
thinking
the
he's like
guy
a lower boss.
above him.
Yeah. Well, no doubt. So he shows up, which I think is a little strange because normally,
Does
like,
he live there too?
your employer doesn't show up. Your boss doesn't show up
Yeah.
to your house when you don't come in for work.
Well, then maybe the whole thing is a dream.
No,
Could be.
I doubt it. Yeah. So
Do you just wake up as a bug then?
he did, obviously.
Maybe we can like figure out like what the main idea of the story is, like why the author wrote it.
I think he wrote it to show
That's a
that
good point.
people don't. People don't have. When people are in like weird situations, they have a hard time thinking clearly. Like he was in a obviously weird situation. He cared about getting to work on time, and like
He was sticking
How
to
he
what he
usually-
knew. He was sticking to what he knew.
yeah, but he usually sleeps on like one side. So he's like, well, I guess I just have to sit here and rock. That,
Obviously, he has a beetle back because he couldn't move very. You know what I mean? He was struggling to get
Well,
up.
no, I was thinking like like a wasp. Like
Oh,
you know,
if he- I don't think he has wings though, dude. That's the
I
thing.
don't know.
if he was
He
a
could
wasp,
just
he could just
fly.
fly out of bed.
It's true.
I feel like they would have mentioned his wings if he had wings. Boom, 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 boom.
I don't know, the story's kind of weird.
So I think he can communicate to the people. 'Cause there's a line where it says, "You barricade yourself in your room. Answer merely with yes or no, burden your parents." I don't know. Maybe
Yeah, I
he
mean
can.
like he.
I think he
like,
started
can't, like,
out
really
able
speak
to.
though.
Maybe not like English. I feel like they could like grunt.
Maybe you can do like
Mm.
grunts.
He could make some actual sounds that could be heard.
Like, eh.
That's all I'm getting from this. These people need to be quiet. God, Abby. Yeah, his sister's name was Grady. I think he only has one.
Yeah.
So his mom seemed pretty chill. She's like, "Whoa, my son's not responding. Something's going down. Call a doctor, get all this done."
I don't think she was very chill. If
And
I
don't
was in
like
my
his
room.
dad's reaction, like kicking him in and locking him in.
He was a giant bug.
Well,
I think
like
his
one-
dad was like scared
That was pretty unchill.
that he would lose his job or something
Yeah,
if
there's,
they
like-
saw that he's not a human.
There's like one point where his dad's like beating him with like a can of newspaper. Like, to, like,
That's
go back
definitely
into
not
his
part.
room.
Is that part one?
I'm
No,
not
the
really
first
sure.
I'm pretty sure
part
it's
one
not
is
part
the
one.
stick.
Oh
He just gets a stick.
Go back into your room, my bug son.
My books. I don't think they were very calm about him just being in his room for a little bit. Like if I was just in my room, my mom would be like, "Hey, get out of there." She wouldn't like call my boss or freak out.
I don't think
there's
she
something-
called the boss.
okay.
Did they call his boss?
Well, yeah, but why was his boss
I
there?
feel like, that's what I was saying was weird. His boss just showed up.
Then how would he know?
Well, no doubt, but I mean, if you don't show up to work, your boss doesn't come to your house.
I oversleep for school. My teacher shows up in my bedroom.
No,
That would be so odd.
no excuse, Charlie. Your boss would never show up to your house.
Unless he was like not performing well at work as it
Well, he said he was.
Well, he wasn't.
He's a good worker.
He wasn't performing well. Apparently.
Yeah, that's what he
He's a
said.
good worker.
I mean, with this boss guy seems pretty sketch. So.
So maybe he's like just getting sick of him not doing well lately.
And yeah, maybe he went there to go fire him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh my gosh, good
Well, I
thing
mean,
I
if
fired
he
him."
wanted
He's
to
a
fire,
bad."
he would have just been like, "Yo, you're fired." But he's like trying to reason.
But if he doesn't go
like,
to-
please answer me. I don't want to do this. Like he's talking to him.
He's probably going to see what was wrong with him and see like if there's something going on at the house, or at the home.
Yeah.
So like maybe like going back on the main idea, maybe kind of like focuses on like what we like thinks like or like what we think is like important like on a daily like life basis. Like he's kind of thinking just like going to work rather than like what's wrong with him. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
There's a lot wrong with him.
Yeah. So his father like beat him up. Essentially, he was bleeding. He was rubbed up against the door. Can you move your hands a little bit?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so his dad just kind of like wailed on him and then kicked him in his room and then shut the door. It doesn't seem very chill of him.
Very
There's a
unchilling.
giant bug.
That's his son.
Yeah, but does he know it's his son?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does.
You said like my bug son, so it's like.
I'm pretty sure he
Are you
knows
just gonna
it's
beat your
his
son
kid.
because he's a bug?
I feel like if there was a giant bug that came out of my son's room, I would think, oh my gosh, this bug ate my son.
You know what I wouldn't do? I wouldn't kick it back into the room where I think my son would possibly be.
Yeah.
And then close it in with him.
Yeah.
That would not be my first reaction.
Bad parenting 101.
That
child
does not make
endangerment.
sense at all. It's like, oh, there's a giant scary bug, so let's put it in the room where your son sleeps, and then close the door. Logic.
How can I?
My son will be okay.
Nice dad. Most definitely. Oh. All right, Emily. So, what do you have to say?
My overall thoughts of the part 1 of Metamorphosis was that it was interesting because he turned into a bug, so it was not boring to read, and I liked that. And I also think he needs to get his priorities straight, because if you're a bug, I don't think your like initial thoughts should be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be late for work and stuff like that. So, Charlie.
I thought it was interesting that his family still accepted him, even though he was a bug.
Accepted him?
They hated him.
Are you joking me? Like, what? How did you get
These
that?
are his thoughts and opinions.
Well, they're wrong. His family didn't. Is that what you consider accepting?
They didn't instantly kill him.
I mean, maybe his dad just didn't have enough time. What about you, Zach?
Well, you know, I thought it raised a couple questions, you know, about like what what you're doing like in your life, you know, what you hold like, important to yourself. I mean, like, is your job like more important than like your overall well-being? And sometimes you have to ask yourself that.
I think it. Oh, there might go. Now I was going to say, when you said he thinks his job, yeah, I think it is, because I think he overworks himself, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, he's overworked, his work quality is failing, but he's trying to put more hours to make a little more money. That's what I was getting from it. You know? Take it for what it's worth. I think this is a learning lesson for him. Turning into a bug will teach him to learn more and not work as hard.
I also thought it was like an interesting way to kind of like tell it too, like instead of just like having like a normal person go through.
Yeah, be like, yo,
this like problem.
They're
yeah,
just like he's
just, like turned into a bug.
He's like, well, I was trying to turn over, like simple things. You know what I mean, like, that they describe that and whatnot. So I think that he should be turned back into a human, because no one deserves to be a bug, and obviously something went wrong here. So, and at the very least, he should get like some sort of like, you know what I mean, like some place to go, not get beat up and then thrown into his room. So that's my 3 cents.
Yeah, I kind of just think that, I think it's weird that the title is Metamorphosis. Like, I understand, like, he changed, like, physically, but, like, in part 1, he hasn't really changed, like, as a character-wise, and I'm just it kind of intrigued me, like, making me think that maybe there'll be a character change of him getting his priorities straight once and for all. Or not. I don't know.
This ends the book discussion
The
of
end.
Metamorphosis.